How's it going? My name is Frank Cullen. I'm from the New York Surf School located in Rockaway Beach, New York. We're roughly 50 minutes by subway from most parts of Manhattan and about 45 minutes by subway also from most parts of Brooklyn. If you're ever in New York City, ever visiting Manhattan or family or anything like that, and you want to come out and take a surf lesson, we're an easy subway ride away. And what you want to get right is the surfboard. You can have a wetsuit that doesn't fit perfectly, some other things, but surfboard, you want to get that right because that's where the fun factor comes in. And for myself, I make sure that the boards I'm riding are boards that I'm going to paddle out and have fun on, get a good wave count. I'm going to go over a couple of board shapes and designs, and hopefully that'll help you make an educated decision on what board you're going to get. All right, because again, this is the one thing we want to get right. We want to get the board right, okay, because that's where the fun is. All right, let's take a walk out back. All right, let's head back and let's see what we got back here. All right, I'm banging out the new iPhone 13, so I hope we got some good video here. All right, to make up for the lack of audio you're going to get from me. We're going to start with the two boards that I surf pretty much 90% of the time. And then we'll cover, I got about another 3 boards that I use from time to time. But I don't ride those as often. And there's one board my goal is to get back on it. I haven't surfed that board since before hip surgery. I had hip surgery 2 years ago, and really last year and this year we're probably the most surfing, and surfing probably at my best since I was in my 40s, and I'm 60 years old now. All right, so this is my #1 board right here, okay? This is, let me put it up right here so you can see it. All right, so this is McTavish, 9 foot. This is a pretty high performance. I like the way this board rides. It's very loose. I like to do a little off the bottom, off the tops as I'm kind of going down the line, and this board really lets me go ahead and do that. It's I get into waves nice and easy, turns fast. It's got a 2+1 setup. If you look down here, so I like to surf it with a single fin, but it could put 2 side bites in, so you could either take the middle fin out and surf it super loose. I might even try that one time next summer. But things are starting to get a little cold now, so we're just getting into wetsuit season. The water's still around 68, 70 degrees, but the days are getting a little cooler. All right, so that's it. This is my McTavish. I actually ordered this board from Australia, from Byron Bay. And it really treats me out well. This is my #1 board right here. Number 2, this is my Stewart. Okay, let's pull this out here. Shaped by Bill Stewart, in my opinion, probably, and again, just my opinion, probably the best American longboard shaper for my style. This is not as loose as the McTavish. This I'll start wearing when the weather really dips and we're putting booties on and wearing the 4-3 wetsuits. Real easy paddling. I can get pretty close to the nose when I'm actually paddling into waves, so I can get into waves a little further out when they're moving a little slower. And the earlier, for me, the earlier I get in the wave, the more time I have to make decisions. I don't like getting in super late. I like early entries. Pretty stiff though. It's, you know, just kind of turn and just kind of go down the line, little light pumps, but not much like the McTavish, but real floaty. And it really, once we get the heavy stuff on, like the 5-3, the boots, the gloves, the hoods, surfing, you know, on 40-degree days with, you know, 40-degree water temp. This is the board I'll ride on very small days in the summertime. I'll take this out also, and this board's a lot of fun. And I ride this board also same way, fin, but it does have the 2+1 setup. All right, so I can ride that as a 3 fin, as a thruster. All right, and these are the two boards that I do ride. I'd say 90% of the time. All right. And now we'll go over the 3 other boards that I ride and kind of give you my thoughts on those. Okay, so this is a Stewart. It's a Funline. I got this board for me and my son to share. For me, this would be a smaller board, and I haven't really spent a lot of time on it. I just swapped boards with a buddy of mine, so I'm looking forward to getting out on this. I was out on it. It does turn super fast, real loose, gets into waves, nice and easy for me, real stable. And I didn't mention it on the other 2 boards, but I do like fairly wide boards. What I found is the stability of the board is in the width, not as much the length. And if you're a younger guy and you'd really like to get on a smaller board, but you're struggling, stay wide and floaty. And the next 2 boards I show you are kind of those versions of for me. But again, this board I ride it single fin, and I'm looking forward to spending more time on that. Maybe I'll get it out a few more times before we get into the heavy gear, because once I put the winter gear on, I won't be riding this board. All right, next up is this Matador kind of bullfish. This is 7.2. This is actually, I believe, as wide as the Stewart, maybe even wider. This is 23 inches wide. So this is the same width as the Stewart, and it is 3.5 inches thick. All right, so this is this board. It's a pretty loose board. I ride it right now with two side bites, kind of like a old style kind of fishy board. But I believe I'm going to to a quad setup, smaller outside fins, and this board pretty loose. And the real reason I had actually gotten this board was to work my way down to the next board I'm going to show you. And so I try to spend a little bit of time on this and get my footing on it. And then the goal is to work down to the next board that I'm going to show you, that I haven't spent a lot of time on. It's a little frustrating. I really have to start doing some at-home pop-up exercises, because I'm struggling to get my footing right, and that's almost part of the reason why I'm spending a lot of time on bigger boards. Although I enjoy them, this board I'm about to show you was my go-to board forever. So let's get to that board right now. Okay, so this says Boneyard on it, but it's also a Matador board. That's a different logo that they had used, but it is shaped Matador. Matador comes out of somewhere along the Jersey Shore in New Jersey. Okay, this board, I love this board. The first wave I ever took on this board was, I couldn't believe it how loose for me it was. This board is 6'10". I believe it's, let me get the exact measurement, 6'10" by 21.5". Nice and wide, almost as wide as my longboard, by 2 3/4 inches thick. All right, so through the middle here, it has the volume of a longboard or a big fun board, but it's 6'10". It comes to a little bit of a point. I can actually duck dive this. I can't get it that deep, but I can get it below. I'll wait for this plane to pass by. I can actually duck dive this board. I can't get it that deep, but I can submerge it under the wave on my paddle out. So I used to take this out on some 4 or 5 foot days. Very loose. If it gets a little bigger than 5 foot, which it doesn't really grip the wave that well, because the tail is so wide. This is excellent in summer surf. 2, 3, 4 foot waves, 1 foot junk. This board was just so loose, it went anywhere I wanted to. I was able to get real far forward, close to the nose when paddling, and that would just get more volume aboard in the water and let me move real fast through the water, and I'd be able to even take off close to where the longboarders were, and I wouldn't have to sit really inside kind of with the shortboarders. So anyway, those are my boards. Those are the pros and cons on all of them. Again, all my boards are wide and thick, and for me, again, being an average surfer, that's what works for me. For anybody else of average ability, my suggestion would be to stay wide and stay fairly thick, volume, and you can really kind of negotiate your length. But that is the one thing you want to do, is get your board right. I recommend getting used boards, and the reason, usually you can try a board first before you get it. You buy a brand new board, you better make sure it's right, because once you throw some wax on that and get it out in the water, it's going to be real tough to return it. That's just me. And so listen, really, if you like what you're seeing, please subscribe to our channel. And any questions or comments, please put them in the comment section below. If you're ever in New York City, you can visit our website, newyorksurfschool.com, newyorksurfschool.com, okay? And again, see you in the water, and have a great day.